What's up, everybody? Welcome to Dat Wrasslin podcast. This is a little bit of an NXT Takeover special. It's your boy Soulamazin here with Streetkilln, Sheepshifter, and last but not least, Benjamin Rivers. What's up, guys?
Welcome, guys.
Hey yo,
Welcome.
hey yo, hey yo, what's up?
Welcome to the stream.
Of course, I actually also will be watching the chat from my computer. Yeah,
Of
because my
course.
computer's very slow
Pikachu,
today.
welcome.
It's so slow
White
today.
Rabbit, welcome.
I think we've all kind of agreed today that we're going to skip over
Skip
Raw, SmackDown, and NXT for this week because they were basically promos for WrestleMania and Takeover coming up. So no point in really dwelling on the inconsequential.
Yeah, there was nothing really interesting other than a bunch of promos, like you said. So we can just skip that and go into the main event here.
Well, if Soul can throw something out there real quick, let's give a little bit of respect to Braun and Brain Strowman. They performed wonders on Monday Night Raw. They deserve honorable mention.
Braun Dudley.
Have you ever seen a pair of twins look so identical to each other before? It was just incredible.
Nah, I didn't.
Remarkable. Okay, so yeah, NXT guys, that was pretty crazy.
Oh man, that first fucking match.
Yep.
Dude.
Yeah, what an amazing start to a show.
Match. Yeah.
Okay, yo, that
North American title,
that
right?
match. Okay, yeah. No, it was for the North American Championship. Just realized that.
That's what I said.
So this match it had Adam Cole, EC3, Velveteen Dream, Lars Sullivan, Killian Dane, and of course the high flyer himself, Ricochet. It was a really good match. This match had edge of my seat.
I actually thought Ricochet was gonna win it. Honestly, I thought Ricochet was gonna win it or EC. I was kind of amazed when Adam Cole won, but then I was like, you know what? It kind of makes sense. You know what I mean?
I think Ricochet, he definitely deserves a championship run, multiple championship runs by his performance. But I honestly didn't expect it all for him to win it tonight, because I didn't expect them to just give him such a giant push just in his first appearance. Like he's kind of still got to earn his respect in the WWE. He's kind of paved his way.
In this match alone, he earned a lot. That backflip off the ladder.
Yeah. Definitely.
I mean, there was some just crazy moments. He had some epic spots.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. I wasn't sure how I would feel about Ricochet or EC3, having never really seen them perform. Soul was saying he'd seen Ricochet once or twice on Ring of Honor, but I hadn't even seen that.
Ricochet once.
I've seen neither of them. I hadn't even seen a clip package, a video package of any of them wrestling. I
knew who EC3 was just from checking the rosters just online, but I'd never seen a video of him. I just seen his picture. You know what I mean, on the roster on their website.
And EC3 took some bumps that makes me think that he
really.
Oh yeah.
That ladder with the Vader bomb with the ladder with him underneath the ladder.
Yeah.
There's no way that.
And he's got really good charisma as well, and mic skills. I think those two guys are. Since I've been watching NXT, which hasn't been too long, it's been, about 8 months, give or take, on and off. But they're probably the two biggest new signees that I've seen come to NXT.
I can't guarantee it, but I could say you could probably put EC3 right next to John Cena, and they would have similar builds, because EC3 is fucking jacked.
Yeah.
I mean,
he is.
Yeah, I think I'd love to see them two in a match at some point. That would be pretty great.
He can take a lot, but Ricochet, man, he's a good high flyer. You seen those moves he be putting off?
Yeah,
those moves.
He reminds me so much.
So smooth too.
What I loved about Ricochet's performance is it reminded me of AJ Styles in his prime in TNA. That's how AJ Styles performed. And I feel like the WWE kind of dubbed down AJ Styles' wrestling performance. Maybe they don't want him to get hurt. Maybe it's just not their thing. I don't know what the reason is, but He does not perform even as well as he did in TNA. He's still a great performer. I'm not knocking him.
That's true.
You know, but he's not as high flying and extreme.
How about that EC3, baby?
Oh, that was incredible. Yeah,
that was a great pop.
That's one of the reasons why I say he has such good mic skills and charisma. Like he pulled that off great. Like that was entertaining. And the way Adam Cole was just looking at him like, really?
Yeah. Yeah, can we actually also I'll take to talk about like okay,
Up next we have Ben.
Like,
Ben with something to say. Let's hear it, Ben.
Okay, can we actually talk about like okay, can we actually just talk about Velveteen Dream for a quick second? 5 elbow drops in a row. Oh my gosh.
He actually did pretty good, Velveteen Dream.
I think he did.
He put on quite a performance as well. I think everybody
top,
in that match.
The ladder elbow. Yeah, nobody was bad. Even Lars Sullivan catching Killian Dane on that that diving body. I was like, oh no, how did you do that?
Yeah. He just made it look easy.
I think they all did pretty good for themselves.
Like, usually, I don't like Lars. Yeah, Lars I didn't really care for because I felt like he was just a big guy.
Yeah, Lars kind of made, like, at first...
I got a lot more respect for him.
At first, it made, like, looking at the card, looking at the 6 guys in the match, Lars kind of made it look like, they could have kind of put somebody better than him and made the match look even better. Yeah. But he kind of showed me something. Like, he showed me he could be entertaining and have a good in-ring performance. I think he was good, and it was just cool how they had such a mix of superstars. Like you got the 2 big beast guys, and you got the high flyer, and you got the big muscular EC3. You know, they had a little bit of everything involved.
That's true.
I feel you. Yeah. It was like really good. Like that ladder match really blew me away. I gotta say it again. I think it was better than the main event. I'm just gonna say it right there. I think it was better than the main event. We will get to the main event, but I don't know, man. I don't know what you guys feel about that, but I think it was better than.
I think it was by design. I think this is how I kind of hope they did it, and it really shook everything up.
Yeah,
is that
there's reasons.
What they thought was going to be their craziest match first, so that everybody would have to step it up. Be like, we got to fucking follow that.
And also, well, I'm not gonna like spoil the results. You know, I mean, we're gonna talk about it in a minute, but there's also the factor of what happened in the tag team match is another reason why this match came first.
Yeah,
because they both were part
of it's part of the story.
Larger story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, this match for me was definitely probably one of the top matches I've seen all year long. Like, I will put this probably as already in the running for next year's match of the year.
I can't actually hear the voices. That's why I can't even hear the voices right now. I just thought no.
He's like, I'm hearing voices. Ben is like tripping out over there. Damn, man.
Going Randy Orton on us.
Hear voices in your head?
Like you know. Oh yeah, and let me actually also just remind like the people right now, like who are actually watching at home right now. This is a ladder match. Which was the first match, of course.
I couldn't tell. I thought those ladders out there were for decoration.
I thought this was the TLC pay-per-view and there wasn't any ladders.
Cables, ladders, and chairs. Who's gonna win? No, no one. Because, you know... Yeah. Adam...
Alright, so are we still talking about the amazing match of the entire show?
I think we should. We should talk about this match. This match deserves to be talked about. A little bit longer. A little bit longer.
I'm trying to think of what other big moments were there.
The double ladder break?
Okay.
I think Ricochet outperformed like 75% of the WWE roster of the past 6 months. And that might be like that might be be given too much credit to the rest of the roster.
Hang on, wait a minute. Wait, let me actually... Okay, hang on. I need to...
Okay, so Killian Dane, Lars Sullivan with that slam on the ladder. And they both broke the ladder. And I thought that was pretty interesting, you know? That's pretty good. I'm like, when do we really see a ladder break? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know about you guys, but I love seeing Killian Dane do the suicide dive. It's great every time.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that was nuts. That was anytime Killian Dane goes flying, you're like, it's not supposed to happen, but it does, and it does amazingly. You'd think it's gonna be a train wreck, and it is, but in the best way.
And I used to talk all that shit about Sanity and how much I couldn't stand them, and I just have, I can't pretend like I don't like Killian Dane. He's a great in-ring performer. He's like one of the best I've seen for his size.
So is Eric Young. The only oddball out is the guy, the blonde-headed dude, the German
Alexander
guy.
Wolf.
He's not. Yeah, he doesn't stand out to me as particularly good at wrestling or.
Which is why.
Compelling character. He's just crazy. That's it. There's no.
That's why I'm glad to see Killian Dane kind of doing his own thing and getting his own recognition. I like seeing him wrestling by himself. Although he did that 6-man, or was it 6-man or 9-man match they had? I think it was Sanity, Undisputed Era, and I think another team, like a couple weeks ago.
Dude, that was War Games.
No, it was after that. It wasn't the pay-per-view because I didn't see the pay-per-view. It might have been just them in Undisputed Era. It was like one of those unsanctioned type matches. And Killian Dane performed really well in that. Like he was like the star of the match.
Yeah, the War Games was nuts. You're talking about the one. War Games was the one where he came out with like every weapon in the book, like on his underarm. And
no, I didn't see War Games. It was just on NXT.
My God, that was.
Wow,
yeah, I'm gonna go back and watch it.
A lot of stuff. I think it needs to. Which I actually forgot to do that also today. Yeah, I definitely might need to watch the pay-per-view again.
Why is everybody just crying all of a sudden?
I think we got lost in the.
Oh, we're trying to relive this wonderful moment. I'm over here trying to perform as good as I can with Ricochet. So we want to move on to the next match, if you'd like.
Ember Moon and that was Ember Moon and Shayna Baszler in a rematch.
I think I would say that was a pretty good match. Like, performance in that match was pretty good, pretty decent. From
let's call it like the whole thing was pretty good. I mean, Ember Moon hitting a clip from the top rope to the outside. That's no joke. That was pretty nuts. And then go ahead. That one move that Shayna Baszler does with trapping the hand and then stomping the elbow, that thing looks like it hurt so fucking bad. And even though she missed, she got put in it and got hit with it.
Oh,
that was pretty dope.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna say this. I'm just gonna go out there and say this. Ember Moon, I think she's she's the best female performer on NXT at the moment.
Hang on, okay.
And I don't know if you guys agree with me with that, but from as much as I've seen NXT and know the female roster on there, I know there's not that many good female talent on there. Like, name somebody else that's better than her.
Kairi Sane.
No.
They're gonna
performers. Come on now. Kairi Sane's not good. What are we talking about? She's decent.
Wow.
But
massive shots. Okay, massive shots though. Massive shots. Right.
I think Kairi Sane is good. In ring, maybe not as good as Ember Moon, but still good enough. Has a good enough following at least to be a good draw. To be a good replacement until the next big thing comes along.
What is this?
You got Johnny Gargano's wife. I think Selena Vega should be a NXT Women's Division.
I didn't know she could wrestle.
Candice LeRae, she can. All she does is throw fucking Hurricane Rana, and that's enough, right?
Yep. That's true.
She can do a Hurricane Rana. That's good enough.
That's it.
So,
That's true. Oh, no, fucking me first. What the hell?
I called it saying that Ember Moon was gonna lose, only because I think she's gonna be moving on to the main roster.
I agree.
And making her lose, and maybe in a couple months or a month or so, she'll be moved on to the main roster. And
maybe even tomorrow.
Maybe even tomorrow night.
Yeah, maybe even tomorrow.
Or Raw after SmackDown. We can't forget that Raw after SmackDown, there's always one or two surprises. Yeah, there's always a return or a surprise or something.
Whatever you're trying to go for.
She's totally like, Ember Moon is like dominant in the women's division in NXT, and they have so much upcoming female fighters in NXT. They need, like, you know, they need to have time to shine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And having Ember Moon just fight everybody, every female, and just taking them all down, it's just kind of like pointless. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they gotta. In NXT, they don't have many wrestlers as, you know, Raw or SmackDown. So, I can't say the titles should be exchanged more often than they are on Raw and SmackDown, because we've seen a long title reigns in NXT. And I just feel like having long title reigns in NXT is just hogging the title for new talent, because that's the whole thing about NXT is there's a lot of new talent in NXT and they need to get a chance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I feel about it. I don't know what you guys think, but having Shayna Baszler have the title is a good start. You know, get her recognized and have her defend it here and there and whatnot, and do whatever else they want to do.
Yeah, and we actually did see Ronda Rousey.
Oh yeah, Ronda was there.
Yeah, is it her and Shayna Baszler friends or something?
Nope.
Yeah, her, Shayna Baszler, Jessamine Duke, and the other one, Roderick Strong's wife, are the four horsewomen of the UFC.
Four horsewomen.
Oh, okay.
Well, not UFC, just MMA in general. Because only two of them are in UFC. The other two hasn't been on UFC yet.
Hey, it seems to be working for him.
Okay, yeah, I wish everyone like stop going after me first. Oh, and out cold. Bye.
Yeah. So,
yes.
You got anything to say, man? I haven't heard you talking.
Regarding this match, not really. You pretty much covered how I felt about it. I was predicting Shayna to win because I've been seeing Ember Moon as the next one to come up from the main roster since Asuka for a while. I figured she was gonna come after Asuka, so I kind of assumed she was gonna lose this match. But I agree with you on she's probably the best in-ring performer in NXT, and that's part of the reason why she's gonna get the big push to the main roster. And I think that
well, here's the thing about the main roster part is that she lost like 3 times to Asuka.
So right, she doesn't have to be on.
Well, I mean that's Asuka.
They would put her on Raw.
Everyone loses Asuka.
Yeah, where's she gonna find her spot at though? You know, I don't necessarily know if I would want to see an Ember Moon and Alexa Bliss feud.
No, we'll see after WrestleMania, because obviously titles are bound to change and shakeups are bound to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there'll probably be a superstar shakeup.
Yeah, there's gonna be. Isn't it gonna be on Raw? Like, isn't it immediately following WrestleMania?
Probably. I actually don't even know.
Because I mean, I'm gonna save this for the end of the podcast, but I have a prediction for Monday Night Raw.
Oh, well, let's hear it.
Here's a prediction. Oh.
You have to wait till the end of the podcast, bud. You gotta wait. It's in the theory part at the end of the podcast. Tune in, guys.
No.
Theory part, huh? Okay.
We're on NXT right now, guys. No spoilers.
So what's on the prediction? So what is on the predictions right now?
Yeah, we can talk it later.
Okay.
Well, we got the next match to go over.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what was your favorite part of the women's match?
Nothing.
That's what I was gonna say. I think. So Shayna Baszler putting that doing her like popping her shoulder back in place. I was like, damn, she's savage. She gonna win this shit. She popping her shoulder back right on the ring post.
I guess she sold it well enough, but I was like, it kind of was corny to me. I was like, what is this, Lethal Weapon? You know, what do we got over here? Mel Gibson doing the shoulder pop backhand thing. I'm like, yeah, I guess it looks okay, but you could tell like her shoulder wasn't out. You know, if it was like Alexa Bliss, how she could dislocate her arm, that shit was crazy.
Yeah, Alexa Bliss with that dislocation.
She hasn't done that in a while.
No, if Alexa Bliss. Yeah, I know.
She used to do it every
like
once in a while.
If you could see like the shoulder pop out and like her really put a shoulder back in, and then I would be like, wow, that's crazy. But
yeah.
Her submission was good too.
Basketball ball actually just like the best NXT. The best NXT.
Oh, the one where she grabbed her own hair.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, she, like her arm, she sold the shoulder injury so well that she was holding like her own hair to lock that. That I have to give mad props to. That gave me respect for Shayna Baszler. Like her promos to me have been cringy so far, but that was like, okay, I see it, I can get it. She can be champ. I'll let it go. That was enough for me. I was like, well,
she did pretty good.
This is a match.
She did.
This is a match.
Sell it really good.
She did. Yeah, I thought that part was impressive.
I'm not even mad that she won. She won the title. I mean, give her like her shine. Give her moment. You know what I'm saying?
She did already lose the Mae Young tournament and then lost to Ember Moon the first time she challenged her. Yeah, it was her turn.
I think what's great about all this is that we're at a point in NXT where multiple people could hold the title and we wouldn't be upset about it. I mean, just last year it was like, wow, no, I don't see anybody being a champion almost. Like, everything was like blah.
Well, even better is that now we have another title.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Even better, we got something else, some more stakes. We can have more belt. You know, I think it's only gonna get better.
Oh, I saw that. Oh my god.
Another title. Good new talent. Things are getting good in NXT.
So how does the Freebird rule work with a 4-man tag team? Can you use the Freebird rule
I think
as a 4-man?
Once Bobby Fish is cleared to come back to the ring, somebody's gonna go. That's what I think. I don't think it's gonna stay 4 men. It's not even really 4 men now.
Here's what I think. I think they're already gonna kick him out. They're gonna kick Bobby Fish out while he's injured. They're gonna like sell it. They're gonna like super kick him because he's got like a leg injury.
Why though?
Because he's injured. They don't want to. They're gonna hold him back.
True. But fucking.
This never would have had to happen in the first place if. You know.
Well, we should move on and cover that match because we're kind of skipping to the end of the match.
The tag match, yeah. Honestly,
are you talking about that match on the pre-show? Did we cover the pre-show?
Oh, match? Get out of here, Chief.
Wait a minute. Shut up. Wait a minute. I want to try something. I just want to see if it's gonna work. That doesn't want to work.
All right. So I gotta miss something here. I missed some of the match. I've only seen like the ending of it, like maybe like 10 minutes towards the ending. So I can't really say much about it. So yeah.
Yo, we all make you go for the same idea.
But for what I saw, it was pretty good. The shocker moment during the tag match. Oh man,
the tag match was up there. To me, was one of the best things because of the shock. I did not in any way, shape, or form see that.
Me either. It impressed me so much that I predicted what was going to happen in that match, and I was dead wrong. I love when something happens that I didn't see happen.
Oh man.
Uh-oh. Hang on, EC3.
I can only imagine the stories that are gonna come or how this is gonna turn out. Because I mean, just no way, and it did. I ever think he was gonna take up.
I think it was a good.
You know,
I think it was a good heel turn, and I think it was well deserved because I think Roger Strong's really good in the ring, but I didn't see him really getting anywhere with the face thing they had going with him.
But did you hear the pop that he got?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, the whole crowd was like,
yeah, I think he deserved that pop.
Huge. Honestly,
no.
like
it was like it reminded me of when somebody joined the NWO back in the
day. That's another reason why I loved it so much, because like we all talk about every week on the podcast and even just during the week to each other about how we want to see a big faction in the WWE. So that gave me that feeling of a big faction of NWO. Of, you know, every week it was like, who's gonna join this week? Who's gonna turn heel and join the NWO this week? Who's gonna rip their shirt off and have that NWO under their shirt? It was just that it gave me that feeling. It gave me that nostalgia feeling of a giant heel stable.
Like me and Sheep say, WWE needs a big stable. It's about time for having a big stable in WWE. Like they need to form a big stable, and if they could have.
I don't know if I want it to be EC. I don't know if I want it to be Undisputed Era, but you know it is.
Well, it should be Undisputed Era for NXT, but it should be another one for main roster, main card.
Oh my God! I swear, if Velveteen is digging for me, I've done nothing wrong. Thank you.
Well, I think if anything, they'll take Undisputed Era to the main roster. Maybe have a few of those guys join.
Well, I see Adam Cole turning on them eventually. If they're going to do like a Bullet Club type thing in the WWE, Adam Cole's going to be in that, obviously.
Okay, why would they actually do like the Bloody Bullet Club, what they did to Adam Cole? It's just stupid. But, okay, I do kind of like see like one of the other people doing it, like the heel turn, or probably the face turn, on like one of. Okay, I just don't know how to actually like, explain it. It's just like I don't know like which words I should just say it. I just don't know what words to say it in. But okay, I could actually see like say for example Kyle O'Reilly. He might do it eventually.
Do what?
Do what?
Okay, no, like,
what's he gonna do?
Yeah, he might actually leave like the
Speaking of Dark Horse. Was it? I mean, he pretty much carried that whole match. Kyle O'Reilly. Yeah. I was really impressed with Kyle O'Reilly's performance. Out of everybody in that match, that was like when he got kicked or whatever, or he did something and he stood up, and then he just fell through the ropes.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
Ricochet, I'm trying to do something. Ricochet, I'm trying to do something for a quick second. No, let me do it.
Ben, don't talk about the game.
Yeah, man, who cares about the game?
Okay, sorry, I'm just trying to like get the stupid big moment out.
But yeah, who was you guys actually hoping to see to win that tag match though, for real?
Okay, I know like a lot of people like they did want to see Orcus.
I wanted to see Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong win. I wanted to see how that storyline was going to progress because it wasn't headed for anywhere good, and now it's really not.
That's why that happened.
Well, like as I was watching it,
they probably seen it too.
I was telling my girlfriend, I was like,
seen the story not heading good.
I was like, I'm really not expecting Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong to even win this because I feel like they're just a filler for the tournament, and I don't see them staying as a tag team together for very long at all. Like I think this is just to give a little pop to the crowd as these guys are teaming up and replacing Mustache Mountain in the tournament. I didn't expect them to actually win the titles. Like they're not a real tag team. Like I didn't believe they were gonna win at all. But I didn't see the heel turn happening either. I honestly thought that I thought the Authors of Pain were gonna win. Was my main prediction.
Yeah, that's why I thought was gonna win.
And I thought that the Undisputed Era might possibly come to an end. Like I was like 5% thinking that, like just very lightly. That maybe like Adam Cole would get like angry at Kyle for losing, or I don't know.
Him, especially with Adam Cole winning the title now.
So yeah, I think we saw how that went.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm saying I saw like I was thinking maybe like because Adam Cole just won the new title, so he had a title to himself, and then if Kyle O'Reilly couldn't like put up a fight on his own and he lost the titles, maybe Adam Cole would be like, you lost the titles, and be all pissed off, and I have my own title, and turn on him. And with Bobby Fish being out, it would just end the Undisputed Era. I thought they were going to end it because of Bobby Fish being injured. I was like, I don't see them keeping Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly as the tag team champions while he's also defending the North American title, so they might as well go ahead and end it. It never dawned on me at all that they were just going to replace Bobby Fish while he's injured, especially with Roderick Strong. Like, that never even crossed my mind. And that's why when it happened, it was like, oh my god.
Sure, it was a really, it was big, oh my god, man. It was a shock, like, they shocked
the system.
Yeah. What a shock.
Input fun here.
Yeah, it was worth it in my opinion. The problem that I saw was I didn't see how any other match was going to even come close to that first match. And every single person really stepped up their game. Every single match was not better than the first one,
but they weren't disappointing.
They were gonna have to say, hey, I did not expect.
They were good enough to where we're not sitting here saying, well, the first match was amazing, the rest of the show sucked.
Yeah.
That's what I was halfway expecting.
Yeah.
After that match, I just knew it.
Too. I was like, I hope the main event is gonna be as good as this first match, because if it's not as good as this first match, then wow, that's just crazy.
Yeah.
So, not quite the main event, but the next one. I guess we can move on, right, guys?
Sure.
Yep.
Oh yeah. The next one.
We got one more before the main event. That's that Aleister Black.
Aleister Black versus
Fade to Black, baby.
Almas. Alright, so I haven't really watched Almas play NXT and NXT because I totally missed the whole feud of that. Like Aleister Black and Almas, because I stopped watching NXT for like a while.
I genuinely hated him when he first
Does that girl always cheat? Or
now, yeah, when he first started,
Zelina Vega.
I don't know if it was by design or if he was genuinely, this was his character to start with, but his first character, when he first debuted on NXT, was like really lazy, and they made him like a partier, and he was always partying and getting distracted and flirting with girls. He would have 2 or 3 different girls every night, and he just was real disrespectful.
He would like lay in the middle rope and just hang out.
Yeah, and and it was terrible for me. I hated it.
I liked it. I thought he was funny.
And started like cussing him out in Spanish and stuff, and like lighting a fire under his ass. And then she's his manager, and they're doing all this, and then he's the champion. And I did not like him being champion. But after some of the matches I've seen lately and how they really used Zelina Vega well, I have to say that I take it all back. I mean, him as champion was probably a good idea, and he'll be fine wherever he goes. If he goes to the main roster now, he'll be fine. Believe it. Believe that.
Aleister Black, man, he's pretty good. He's a great performer. I like
That's
him.
The only disappointment I have is that Aleister Black didn't. Aleister Black won't be going to the main roster soon.
That's true.
Well, I'm actually, I agree with you on this, Sheep. I definitely want to see him on the main roster, but at the same time, I wanted him to win the NXT title and at least have a short reign with
It's
it.
bittersweet.
Because, yeah, it's definitely bittersweet.
Yeah.
I think he has to win the NXT title before he comes up, though. I feel like he had to.
Yeah,
I think it was the exact same thing with Ember Moon.
Yeah.
She had to win before she could go to the main roster because she spent so much time
and then,
not winning.
Well, now imagine this. Aleister Black is the NXT champion. Now maybe we get to see someone like maybe Ricochet, EC3, take the title from him so he can come up.
Well,
imagine a Ricochet Aleister Black match.
First, I have to defend against Andrade. But after that, I'm thinking he'll fight Drew McIntyre.
Who?
I ain't even like when I was watching
Aleister?
NXT and Andrade was fighting. He was like, I was like, who is this dude? This guy, I would like never cared for him, dude, and I still don't care for him.
Who, Andrade?
Mhm.
Yeah, Andrade.
Yeah, well, he's kin to Rey Mysterio. He comes from he's a legacy wrestler.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not crazy about the guy, but I don't dislike him either. I think he's a pretty good wrestler.
He earned some respect from me from the last 2 or 3 pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. I guess Selena Vega is pretty hot, so I have to say that.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
I think he puts on good matches. I think he did well in this match. I like him. He got that little pop at Royal Rumble too.
Oh, there was finisher after finisher, like I mean, just a lot of interference from Selena Vega, like 5
Well,
times.
I think that, like you said, I think it's been by design during the whole Aleister Black feud. Like, she's been getting involved in it, coming out and speaking for Andrade, and then she interfered 5 times in the match, and then you see the results. What happened? It was to irritate the fans and never have everyone all pissed off. Like, damn, she keeps doing this, and then she finally slipped up and made a mistake, and he made her pay. It was a good finish. It was a good finish, just like every other match. Every match was a good finish. It was something you didn't really expect. Everything was kind of like a little bit of a shock value. Some more than others, but
shock the system.
Well, that now leads me to believe, leading into the, I guess, the last match with the unsanctioned one.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me believe that Daniel Bryan gave that whole Access speech about how he hoped that Johnny Gargano actually lost so that he could sign him to SmackDown because he wants Johnny Gargano on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
So, does Johnny Gargano stay in NXT, or do they maybe offer him a contract to SmackDown anyway? Does he go to SmackDown soon? I can see Johnny Gargano in the land of wasted opportunity.
Go on SmackDown.
Yeah,
I think he will too.
And then he'll sit right next to Ty Dillinger.
Or Ty Dillinger.
Yeah.
What are they going to make him
champion?
Are they going to make Gargano a champion? No.
No. I don't see Gargano a champion. I don't even see him holding United States title.
I think he could.
Johnny Gargano is that big of a wrestler. You know what I'm saying? I know he has a lot of fans behind him, but
if Baron Corbin can be the United States champion, anybody can be the United States champion.
But they're pushing Baron Corbin.
Johnny Gargano runs laps around Baron Corbin. Then they could push Johnny Gargano to be United States champion.
But they're not pushing Johnny Gargano. Did they push Johnny Gargano in NXT at all? No. Only with the tag team division, that's it. He's like more of a tag team division type person. He's not.
He did lose a lot as a singles competitor.
Yeah.
He lost almost everything he was in. Like,
he's not
literally.
A singles competitor.
He lost, but he got championship opportunities too, and he lost those.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
he lost what
feel like,
4 times to Andrade.
Yeah, it was bad. It was sad. I was like, I felt bad for the guy, and I think that's what they were trying to manufacture. They were trying to create a Daniel Bryan when they didn't have a Daniel Bryan.
They didn't have a Daniel Bryan.
So they were trying to create. They really did. They tried to manufacture that genuine push. That's what I think they're trying to do. They're trying to create organic pushes to make the fans think that they're creating the push. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, let's trick the fans into pushing the people that we want them to push. So we'll put out a video package. We're going to make this guy lose every match we put him in. And we're going to, you know, just completely destroy his life on screen. And then we're going to make him an underdog. The fans are really going to root for him because he's not winning anything. And it's so sad. And every other match was him sitting in the middle of the ring by himself, all sad and emo. So that's what makes me genuinely believe that all this was manufactured to create a Daniel Bryan. It's like every man. And what's with the? I don't want to. I'm not. Is it just me, or is there a little bit of a thing between him and Tommaso? They get a little handsy, don't they? A little touchy-feely in like some awkward places. Yeah, every time, like when before they broke up and when they were like. You know, in the match together when they had that one fight where they sat down next to each other and they're kind of like bro hugging it out or whatnot. Yeah. There's always like some like weird like body touching and stuff going on. Like in this one, he was like touching his face and stuff, and like I was like, well, what's going on here? It's like a little bit of.
I kind of.
That's actually part of the script, or what?
I think so. I think it's kind of like
a long time ago. I thought a long time ago, and I'll say this, that they were trying to push at like the first gay tag team. They were going to make them a gay thing.
Really? You think it was that much touchy stuff?
I've never heard that.
I thought they were going to go there.
I
thought they were going to try
Johnny
to push.
Gargano as a
you guys are kind of reaching here.
I can kind of see it.
I don't see it. I don't see it at all.
Look at Johnny Gargano.
They're always doing that equality stuff.
No, you're just making yourself believe this.
Go watch all their matches together back and start watching the touchy hands. There's something there, man. I'm telling you, they're doing something.
They're just bros, man. They're bros.
Is going on.
They're playing a little hide the rainbow.
They're bros.
Bros.
You're not gonna pick any Raw characters. Yeah, bros don't touch each other's face and be like, you're so cute.
Wow, now you just put words in their mouth.
What do you mean by that, Street?
Going over WrestleMania.
What do you meant by that when you just said that?
You're not gonna pick anybody in WrestleMania?
Daniel Bryan is in WrestleMania.
No, I'm talking about Soul and.
Oh, we're picking WrestleMania peoples.
Okay,
Can it be Theory people?
Okay, yeah, I'm just trying to actually.
What if I have a theory that Angelo Dawkins is coming to WrestleMania?
What the fuck is Angelo
Dawkins? This Street Profits guy.
Street Profits. Hey, you should really like them. They're like your Profits.
Yeah, dude, they're like your tag team. It's your faction, bro.
The Street Profits.
It's your faction.
Okay, so the reason why
they're the embodiment of all the money you make.
Wait, guys, we gotta stop talking, guys. Ben has something to say.
Hang on.
Go, Ben.
Okay, so the reason why I actually just chose Soulamazin, like the character, because I just want to show Soulamazin like the.
Well, I didn't want to
spoil
spoil anything, guys, but I'm actually going to be at WrestleMania. I'm wrestling John Cena, not the Undertaker.
Oh damn! I knew.
That's something out of Undertaker.
Actually, hang on.
That's why he didn't show up. It's because I actually murdered the Undertaker, and then I was like, I guess you gotta wrestle me now.
Okay, can I just say something right now? Okay. Right now. I've just got... I'm facing Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania. Book it.
Yeah, you're facing Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania? How about you pick somebody WrestleMania related?
So you're gonna wrestle 70-year-old man?
Oh, whoops. Also, hang on a second, guys. I just completely realized that it just had a Halloween Havoc. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even Halloween, bud.
Havoc, yo.
But all in all, I would say probably best pay-per-view of the year, and the year's still got like, I don't know, a lot more months to go.
No, I mean we can definitely say that. Yeah.
8 more months to go.
And it was what, 4 matches?
We'll change it to an Extreme Rules match.
And I doubt WrestleMania tops it. Maybe another Takeover will top it.
Can I just say something though about the main event? honestly, okay. So in the beginning, it was kind of boring. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of boring in the beginning. Yeah, they kind of went at it after each other, but it was nothing special. Just a
Yeah,
bunch
it
of
took a little
back and
time to
forth,
build up.
back
I
and
agree.
forth, and whatnot. It took a little bit of time to build. That's why I was sitting here and I was like, this main event better not be like this during the
You were getting
whole
worried.
match. I was getting worried because I was like, the the first match was amazing. It started off even amazing. Like the whole thing was just amazing, and then main event came along, and they're over here going back and forth, like not doing nothing really that lethal. You know what I'm saying? And not that much crazy moves. I know it was a non-sanction match, what you want to call, basically no disqualification type match, anything goes, and I was
Yeah.
expecting more to happen, like use more foreign objects and actually bring out their frustrations out of each other and try to like hurt each other. And
Oh yeah, that's
that
what we used to do with the
concrete
clutch.
exposed when he took him and power bombed him right on it. I was like, wow, that gotta be a big ass bump to take, cause
Yeah, you get the
fucking
smack. Oh my god.
yeah, you heard that shit. I was like, and you could see his back red too when he got up. His back was so red. I'm like, dude, what if he landed the wrong way and he could have broke his neck or something? Like, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that's
I
what
know
like
these
all
non-sanction
wrestlers actually
matches.
do.
I know these non-sanction matches are like basically scripted. The fucking it's
Yeah, they're
kayfabe
still
type shit.
employees. They're
They're
still
still
employed. They're
they're
gonna
still
cover
employed.
any medical
Yeah,
injuries. Like,
I know
oh well,
that.
Tommaso Ciampa got hurt. We're not gonna treat him for his broken
Yeah,
back now.
I know that. But what if he broke his neck and died? Like something happened during that move.
Well,
Because
here's the
that could
thing. That
easily have
wasn't really
happened
a
during
hold
that move.
harmless. That was the hold harmless agreement. He was probably writing on a blank sheet of paper, or with no ink, or with the thing not clicked. They didn't really
Yeah,
sign a hold harmless. That's the
yeah,
whole point. Is that if something accidental really did happen, WWE would be paying them millions of dollars, regardless of
true.
lawsuits. They would just do it because they would want to avoid the lawsuits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
true.
They're smarter than that. After as much time as they have in the business, they know exactly what they need to do, when they need to do it, and how they need to do it. Drug tests,
Okay.
steroids. If they want somebody
You
on
wanna say?
steroids, that person's going to be on steroids, and they're going to pass every test they're given.
mhm.
You wanna
Cough,
say?
cough, Brock Lesnar. Cough, cough, Roman Reigns.
Well, Roman Reigns and everybody in
No,
the
Roman Reigns.
system, but maybe not
First year at
now.
WrestleMania.
But Jinder Mahal.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Can I
just had to
bring
cough that
something
out.
Excuse me, guys.
else up
Yes.
about
Can I
that
just say
match?
something real
Can
fast?
I bring?
Just real quick.
Go ahead.
Brock Lesnar is an all-natural athlete. Okay, good. Continue.
No, he's not. Shut up. I
So
don't
he's
even
a
know what you're
freak of
doing at this
nature.
point.
That's nothing but
Don't be
corn and
joking.
hot dogs, buddy.
Nine out of 10 haters will say otherwise.
Can I
Come
just say
on.
something
I
right
Corn and
don't know
now?
if
hot
you're fucking with
dogs.
me or what. Sometimes
Man, are you gonna
I
pick a
don't know
wrestler?
if sometimes if
You
I
wanna
don't
say?
know if
Hang on.
so is
Hang on, wait
fucking
till.
with me of being a Brock Lesnar fan. I
I
don't know. So
Excuse me.
probably
okay.
like you,
I'll put it
dude.
like
You
this.
love him, huh?
I am really am a Brock Lesnar fan, but I exaggerate it to
Okay.
troll you guys.
Exaggerate.
Like
Don't
I
tell us
say stuff
that,
on
man.
purpose because I know how you guys feel about it. So I just kind of rub it in just to mess with you. But I
Yeah,
really am.
Okay,
rub
can
it
I
a
just say
little
something?
I
bit.
really am a Brock Lesnar fan. I do like Brock Lesnar. He's one of my favorites. I mean,
Okay.
I've been watching him since he
So,
debuted in the WWE. Even when I
That's what
stopped
I was
watching
gonna
wrestling, I
say. You were
still
probably a fan of him since he debuted. I was never really a
even
fan
when I
of
stopped
him since he
watching the
debuted. I was more of
WWE,
a Goldberg fan.
even when I wasn't
I was
actively
more of a
watching,
Goldberg.
I would still watch his matches like on YouTube and stuff. Like I was still paying attention to him even when I wasn't watching the WWE actively. And I watched all of his
Like,
UFC fights when he went to UFC.
Street when
okay.
Soul's on the toilet, he Googles Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar.
He's like,
WrestleMania.
let's see what Brock Lesnar's up to
Okay.
today.
Can I just say something?
go ahead.
Roman Reigns? No. Okay, no. I'm actually automatically just gonna skip Roman Reigns' entrance. I don't want to see it anymore.
Why? What kind of penalty do you think Ben is gonna get for skipping my intro? Come on, guys. What kind of penalty? What kind of penalty?
Excuse me.
How many times can I repeat what kind of penalty?
Yeah, I am Roman Reigns, thank you.
What kind of penalty?
Yeah, but I mean, everybody falls for this like storyline, this gimmick thing of Brock Lesnar is doesn't care about the company, doesn't show up, doesn't do this, doesn't do that. No, but everybody's heart is so stuck in that they don't realize how many years Brock Lesnar has put into this company, how much training, how much hard work and dedication he's put into this over the years. He didn't always have the special treatment.
He did have to.
He didn't have the special treatment when he debuted.
Well, he went through FCW just like all these other guys, so he put in his time.
That's what I'm saying. He has a long dedicated career.
Can I just say something?
Sure, go ahead, Ben.
Whoever Paul Heyman manages get a special treatment. We all know this.
No, but honestly.
No, yes, it's true. Paul Heyman, whoever he manages gets a special treatment.
Yeah.
He managed Kurt Axel.
Big guy.
But he managed Kurt Axel.
I know, but it was a fail.
No.
That was something WWE.
I think I have a fair way of putting this. If you honestly take a look back at the full career of Brock Lesnar to where he is at today, yeah, I think he deserves a little bit of special treatment for everything that he's put into the WWE. And you can't single Brock Lesnar out as the only superstar in WWE that gets special treatment. Look at everybody else.
No shit.
Half the roster gets special treatment.
John Cena is the biggest special treatment of them all. What are you talking about?
Exactly, but nobody prides on that. Everybody just prides on Brock Lesnar.
Oh no, they do all the time. That's what AJ Styles' whole gimmick was when he came in. They used the John Cena part-time thing, and the crowd loved it. What are we gonna do today? Beat up John Cena.
Yeah, that was Roman Reigns and John Cena feud.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
But that's just John Cena. I'm talking about. It's not just John Cena.
Here's one thing. It's a great angle to give someone natural heat. So I think it's deserved heat for one, because if you genuinely don't care about the business that makes you money, then that should be something that draws negatives to you. And I mean, it works. They pointed out in kayfabe, and it draws.
But what I don't get is Brock Lesnar supposedly hates the company so much, but and people hate him for that. But look at CM Punk and what he had to say about the company, and people fucking chant for him every day, and he doesn't even wrestle. Yeah. He refuses to even wrestle for any other promotion. But why? You can't you can't hate somebody for something that somebody else does, and not hold it over the other person's head. That's ignorant. It's the same exact scenario. It's just a different person.
I just think Soul's trying to get something off his chest here.
No. I'm just touching on. I'm just pouring.
He's trying to defend his.
I'm not necessarily just. I'm not necessarily just trying to defend Brock Lesnar here. I'm just touching on it. On how I feel about it while we're on the subject, so we don't have to keep bringing this up all the time. It's always like oh, Soul likes Brock. He's always talking about Brock. Like, I just want to say how I really feel and get it off my chest. I just honestly think, why can CM Punk say things like this company would be better when Vince McMahon is dead, and talk shit about Shane and Stephanie and how bad the wrestlers are, and talk shit about John, and people chant for him, but then Brock doesn't even say that he hates the company himself. Other wrestlers say it. Other people say it for him. He doesn't even say it out of his own mouth, and people hate him for it. Like, it's just stupid. Like, what?
Say he hates the company. You want to know why he doesn't say shit? Because he wouldn't be getting the money then. If he talks so much shit about WWE or UFC, and he knows WWE and UFC is his money fucking well.
Yeah, well,
damn sure he won't be in it.
Yeah, of course.
For CM Punk, he didn't really give a shit. CM Punk didn't give a shit. CM Punk could have gone to any other brand of wrestling. He could have made it in any kind of brand of wrestling if he wanted.
But I'm speaking on the fans' point of view.
Yeah, well, that's the fans.
I respect Brock Lesnar. I just don't like his attitude toward wrestling. I don't really like Goldberg's attitude toward wrestling, to be honest. And I don't like CM Punk's attitude toward wrestling, to be honest. I like third-generation superstars. And
yeah, you like the guys whose hearts are in it. That's why that's a lot of the reason why you love the Hall of Fame so much, and that's why I like the Hall of Fame. I like seeing those guys up there pouring their hearts out, talking about their personal lives and why wrestling means so much to them, and I like seeing that kind of stuff because they love the company because it's not just a paycheck. It brought them out of hard times. It took care of their families. It made their lives better. Like you like those kind of wrestlers.
It wasn't just a paycheck. That's the thing. Back then, wasn't just about a paycheck.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there wasn't really a paycheck back then.
The company in general is all about money now. I mean, it's just a big sell subscriptions and merchandise. That's all it's about. You could be the greatest in-ring performer in the world, and you don't sell no merchandise, they're gonna drop you.
That's why they push the people that they want to push.
Yeah, they push who's gonna make money for them. Roman Reigns. I mean, I like Roman Reigns, but I'm not crazy about him like a lot of people are. I don't dislike him, but I don't know. I'm kind of like about it. Like he's like, all right.
What's up?
So can you actually show just to actually I can put that uncensored because I did swear. I just don't want to be uncensored. I just don't want to be.
It's all good. I don't know, but like just to get past it, like, do you guys like understand where I'm coming from with the whole Brock Lesnar rant?
Yeah, we understand, but I still don't.
Yeah, we get you. We just troll you too.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know, I figured. I just wanted to like really talk about it and get it in the air. I mean, that's fine. Everybody's gonna.
This whole thing is when people understand each other's reasons.
Yeah. We're not all gonna like everybody.
You do like him, and that's the thing, you know. That's why they even like the Miz. You know, a lot of people are polar on him. A lot of people don't like him, and a lot of people respect what he can and can't do.
I mean, I'm sure there's.
But I think at the end of the day, 50 years from now, people will be like, Brock Lesnar was one of the greatest champions ever and stuff like that.
That's true.
Because the time will have changed it. Because remember, Ric Flair spent most of his time as a heel. People hated Ric Flair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
but now everybody loves and respects anything Ric Flair does. Whatever Ric Flair touches turns to wrestling gold. So, yeah, I think that's the future for the Miz and all of them.
Yeah.
It's just it takes a longer time, and it takes a different perspective to see it.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, yeah, and say for like example, because like I know okay, so yes, I don't actually hate Roman Reigns for who he is. Yeah, but I just don't like the push like he's actually getting at the moment. It's just like really, like
nobody
why
wants to push. Why you think everybody fucking do something?
That's what I mean.
Actually, let's talk about last Raw. Just that last moment where Roman Reigns came in and like fucking Brock Lesnar. That pop though, he got a pop, honestly. Roman Reigns got a pop.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, was it a real pop or was that pumped in? You know, because we've all heard about them pumping audio in and stuff like that before.
I don't know. Honestly, it sounded like a real pop to me. And
I think so too.
I heard people chanting Roman Reigns as well. And I think it's just because on that form factor of how a lot of people hate Brock Lesnar.
Maybe there were a lot of kids in that audience. A lot of people still love Brock Lesnar. That's the thing. There will be plenty of people still hollering Suplex City at WrestleMania.
Of course.
You know I'll be trolling in Discord.
Wait, why?
I'm gonna be typing Brock Lesnar in caps all night.
Oh. Okay.
Brock Lesnar's gonna win. I mean, I hate to be the guy to spoil it for everyone, but Brock Lesnar's winning.
No, actually, just
he can't because he can't wrestle if WWE won't let him have a contract with UFC, and he's already been confirmed to be returning to UFC, so he can't win unless he's gonna just trash the title and make it worthless.
That's definitely true.
I think he should win it and then just like give it up and leave. No,
because that makes the title look weak. They're not gonna make the Universal title, especially the new title that's supposed to be the big thing. They're not gonna make it look weak and devalue it.
Yeah, like,
I don't think it'd make it look weak for him to just lay it down and be like, I don't want this shit. I'm leaving.
That would make it look weak.
I don't think so. I think that would
like lay it down and say, I don't want this shit.
I think it would just make him look worse than it already does. I think he would just get booed.
Wait. So Sheep is saying to making the title look weak. I know we know that the Universal and the World Heavyweight title isn't the main title. But what about what Dolph Ziggler did to the United
Exactly,
States?
that's what I mean. Something like that. That didn't make the United States title look weak.
But Dolph Ziggler.
It made Dolph Ziggler look like a quitter. It didn't tarnish the title at all.
They didn't treat the angle right. I think they had different plans for it, to be honest. But yeah, I understand the Brock Lesnar thing. I get it. I know why he has so many fans.
I think it's a way to leave.
He's truly a one of a kind. He's a one of a kind person you'll never probably see again.
But in my theory, by him doing that, it would be a way to leave his character clean without tarnishing his character as the Beast incarnate. And leaving a possibility for him to come back again later and being as like, well, he never really lost the title. He just gave it up. If they ever wanted him to sign him again, if the UFC thing doesn't work out, you know they would. You know he would come back. They would sign him again if he wanted.
Of course he would come back.
You know, so.
How many times has he come?
Exactly. Back? So maybe maybe Vince wants to leave that opportunity open. And then that just leaves that also doesn't give Roman that big push that he's the guy that beat Brock, because I don't think he should be.
Well,
I don't think he should be.
Roman's not getting a push.
He doesn't deserve it.
I tell you guys, Roman's not getting a push. He's getting a heel turn. He's done with pushes, man. Roman's done with pushes. They're just giving him a heel turn. Roman already won almost every fucking title. I think he won every title besides one of the tag team titles. There's nothing for him to get pushed to. He's done with pushes. They're just giving him a heel turn, and that's it.
But how can he heel turn against Brock Lesnar?
Because it'll be a big ass heel turn.
But Brock's not necessarily a face, so I mean, how would that work?
But he's like an icon, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah, he's like an icon.
Yeah, but they're like already feuding, so how's that a heel turn? Like, what can he possibly do to turn heel in that match? Or you saying he's gonna turn heel after? After, okay, I got you.
That's why there's rumors of Paul Heyman betraying, Brock Lesnar. There's rumors saying that Paul Heyman will betray Brock Lesnar and become Roman Reigns' manager, and then Roman Reigns will go on to face a bigger face. You know what I'm saying? A big face like. My speculation is Finn Balor, because Finn Balor has a big shot in line for, the Universal title. He deserves his opportunity back for that title.
Yes, man, I hear you in the stream.
Roman Reigns face Finn Balor, and everybody loves Finn Balor, and having a whole Balor club going on, it'll give Roman Reigns a big, like, major heel turn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. So, that's what I think is going to happen, because I don't really see anybody else for Roman Reigns to face that's a big face in that will go after Universal title. Some people may say Seth Rollins, but we've already seen Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns fight, and Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, we really don't want to see that again.
Yeah, but I mean, you also got to keep
way back.
You got to keep the idea in mind that there's gonna be a superstar shakeup. So he could. This is one of the things that because I talk about theories with my girlfriend after we watch shows too, and one of the things that I came up with was because it was already rumored a couple months ago that Seth Rollins and AJ Styles would be switching brands. So that's why one of my theories is that Shinsuke Nakamura is going to win over AJ. AJ is going to come to Raw. Roman's going to turn heel, and we're going to have an AJ versus Roman feud. Is one of the big things that I see coming.
AJ versus Roman. That'd be
they're two of the biggest pulls in the WWE right now. Basically,
that's the thing. Raw usually steals the biggest talent from
SmackDown.
Given shows. So
yeah.
You can assume AJ will be going. You can assume Shinsuke will hold down AJ's former spot for a little while.
As the big face on SmackDown.
Perhaps. I hope that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn get fired and go to
That's
Raw.
Exactly, and that's what I was talking about earlier when you guys asked me to go ahead and say my theory.
I see Bobby Roode getting put on Raw as well, and maybe have him go for the Intercontinental title and hold that for a bit. Because then we can say that Bobby Roode held United States and
Roode versus Miz?
Yeah, why not? There's been another.
I can see that.
I guess,
but,
maybe.
I would rather see Roode go heel because he's really boring as a face.
He sucks as a face. I'm just gonna say that.
Well, the thing is, if Roode goes heel, like we talked about having heels versus heel before, of course, but usually for title fights and whatnot, it's usually a heel versus face for a title, title match.
Yeah, most 9 times out of 10.
So if Roode goes heel, who would he face? And because Miz is basically heel, the only person that's really a face is in heel is in SmackDown.
Miz has so much popularity now that it's hard for him to be a heel.
Yeah, he's kind of in between.
Basically an in-betweener. He's starting to be. Just like Randy, he's in-betweener.
RKO, Randy can give an RKO to anybody, and the people will still cheer.
Yeah, exactly.
He could go out there tomorrow and RKO Asuka, and people will be like, yes,
honestly,
Wait, you just said Asuka.
I did.
Honestly,
that's
the biggest thing in the WWE, like as far as a finishing move since like the Stone Cold Stunner. Like Stone Cold could stunner anyone and you would cheer.
Well, it is a stunner.
So it's just like Randy Orton can RKO anybody and you're gonna cheer.
It's a stunner. It's a diving stunner without the kick.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. That's basically what it is.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm talking as far as something that is quick and the people are going to cheer no matter who it happens to. Like Stone Cold was stunner and like every diva on the roster and just people in the back and just everybody. And people were cheering.
Yeah. Yeah. Randy Orton, you got to respect. I want to see that Hall of Fame induction for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
He's gonna be there talking some shit.
Yeah, wait a minute.
See, I didn't have the network back when like The Rock and all those were inducted. I never got to see the big ones, and I went back and watched some of them, and they were really interesting. You always get all these stories that you probably never would have heard.
Yeah,
unless you watch stuff like the table for 3 and the ride along. The only place you can get like all these little things that you hear and little peeks into the world of wrestlers and what they go through.
Even the small stories, like the little stuff the Dudley Boys or like Bubba Ray was talking about, like with Mae Young. Like you would have never known those little details. Like her coming into the locker room and telling him, if you're gonna slam me like one of the boys. Like, you never would have heard that story if you didn't watch the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I like those little interesting little behind the scenes stories.
Okay,
But yeah, that's what I
so
was talking about in the beginning of the podcast is, we talked about this last podcast, but I don't see Daniel Bryan losing his first match back in the ring. Like, that's just not gonna happen. Like,
Well, it won't hurt him. It won't hurt him.
it wouldn't
because
hurt
It
him,
won't
but they
hurt him
won't.
because
They
it
won't
can
do that
all
to
be
him.
Shane's fault.
But
It can be
I
Shane's
see,
fault, and then everybody's happy.
I see Sammy and Kevin
Like, oh,
losing because I
Shane,
think
it's
they're
good.
gonna go to Raw. I think they're gonna come to Raw tomorrow or Monday night. This Monday night, like immediately.
What if Kevin and Sammy got fired from both main rosters and went back to NXT and joined Undisputed Era?
Hey, you see that happening? I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. I've been hearing rumors a long time.
That would kind of downgrade them. Like,
no. Here's the thing. I'm talking about that. I've heard rumors for a while about Triple H trying to make NXT an equal brand along with SmackDown and Raw, so that it's no longer a stepping stone.
I don't agree with that. I think that's ridiculous because
it can't be an equal brand.
But NXT is supposed to be for the up and comers.
Yeah.
That would tarnish.
Well, that's what he said. He was going to send talent. He was going to send talent back down. You have to understand that this is something I told Street the other day, and not a lot of people realize this. 80% of the current roster came from NXT.
Yeah, from NXT.
80%.
But that's the thing.
Way over
why
half.
NXT is there.
It's a mind-blowing statistic.
Yeah, that's NXT's purpose.
Listen. Wait, guys. Before NXT was even called NXT and was aired on TV, it was called
a game show.
FCW.
No, it wasn't a game show. It was FCW.
Yeah.
It
wasn't tough enough.
It wasn't tough enough. But it was FCW, and nobody knew what FCW was, but that's where most of the older talent came from and started from was FCW. And to have NXT be on air is a good thing because we get to see, we get to see the new upcoming talent because during FCW time, we couldn't see that because they didn't want to air on TV. And like NXT's not aired on TV; it's on the network, and that's a good thing. So now we get to see where all these new talent come from. Because back then, you can't really put the thing saying, oh, 80% came from NXT because some of the wrestlers back then came from whatever you want to fucking call it, Florida something.
FCW.
Wrestling, yeah, FCW.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
And fucking, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, we didn't know that back then. And we didn't know that until NXT came along. We're like, oh, what's NXT? And people really never knew what NXT was. All we knew was WWE, was like the
I'm saying that as it
stands.
stands, how can it not be equal brands, especially when NXT
because
almost
where would all these other wrestlers come from?
For like 6 months, NXT has been at least 6 months, probably a year or more. NXT has been a better brand than Raw or SmackDown. How can they not be equal when NXT is quote unquote better?
I think they could be equal, but I don't agree with sending talent back down.
But this just goes right back to
Triple
what I
H,
was talking about.
that's what I said. Maybe they won't be considered equal brands, but Triple H specifically said he was considering sending talent back down. And for that not to be considered a downgrade at all, but to be considered on an equal brand. And I think a lot of people could benefit from going back to NXT. Some of them that I think of are the people who aren't being used the way they should right now.
Yeah,
like
but at the same time,
stuff like that.
at the same time, they're just gonna steal time from people that are on the current roster in NXT, so it's gonna be the same difference.
No, because they'll be sending people from NXT to the other rosters.
So they're just gonna rotate it out.
Bayley,
so they're still gonna
exactly.
be.
Bayley could go. Ben has a great point. Bayley is a prime example of somebody that could go back to NXT and do wonders for herself again. Go back to being I'm a hugger Bailey. With none of the garbage storylines about soap opera stuff. Just being Bailey. And she'd be accepted there, and it would be fine.
It wouldn't hurt any of the talent that's not very well known or very big.
Well, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are kind of like NXT legends, you know.
Yeah.
Them going back would be like, oh no, they're back. They're coming back to
That's what I'm saying.
Take what they, you know. I think it would be a great angle. You know what? We've already destroyed this place once. Well, who's to say we can't do it again? Let's just take over and run the place, you know.
Well, see,
that would be awesome.
Here's the thing. You're right there because if we, like, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they've already did so much in Raw and SmackDown. They had big storylines in Raw and SmackDown. And doing so much and having, like, so much story in SmackDown and Raw and going back down to NXT, I mean, it wouldn't really hurt them, but it'll kind of make them more of overpowered, though, if you think about it. Because, you know, everybody in NXT at the moment is upcoming people, and having somebody like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn go back down just so they can quote-unquote take over NXT will be kind of obvious because you already know that they've been in NXT and
they've been like
on the main roster. And
Kevin Owens been Universal Champion and shit. Like he's gonna just dominate everyone. It's gonna be like.
Also, I also just said something. Okay.
To have NXT as an equal brand. To have NXT as an equal brand, we would have to see more of NXT.
They don't need.
There would have to be a lot more activity in NXT story.
They don't need to send talent down in NXT to make an equal brand. They need to have every week as good as this pay-per-view was. They need to keep having shows like that. They did fine with the talent they have now.
They're doing way better than you know, Raw or SmackDown is.
That's what I'm saying. With their current roster, they don't need talent sent down to compete. They're doing it.
Not right now,
they're doing it right now. They need to stick to what they're doing.
Well, they're about to lose a lot of people. Is my point.
That's true.
They may not lose as many as we think they will.
They'll lose at least 10.
To the main roster right now? You think that many?
Sure. In the next 6 months to a year, yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe 6 months to a year.
Like, all just agree that Alicia Fox needs to go back to NXT. I'm just saying this right now. Alicia Fox got nothing planned for her.
Well, honestly, you're gonna start seeing now after WrestleMania, a lot of people getting moved up to the main roster. You're also gonna see a lot of people getting released.
Yeah, you will.
Like Baron Corbin. Mojo.
Baron Corbin's not getting released as much as you want it. You know he's not getting released. He's got a lot of natural heat.
Mojo Rawley.
You can't fake the heat that he gets.
I just thought of something. So you know how in WWE they do contracts, right? So here's another thing. I don't know how long their contract terms are, how long they are, but if we're having people from NXT that go to the main brand like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and say if their contract expired and basically they already done a lot in Raw and SmackDown, they can be released. Like it's not gonna hurt them because they already put an impact in Raw and SmackDown. So having like people from NXT going to Raw and SmackDown and putting a lot of impact in either show and then releasing them after a couple years won't hurt them. I mean, they got their airtime, they got their shine, and they can do other things, you know what I'm saying? They can go to other promotions or local promotions and stuff if they want to keep wrestling. It's like
such as
yeah, them paychecks ain't gonna look good.
I don't see wrestlers these days having a long wrestling span as
I agree. I don't see a lot of Ric Flairs and Shawn Michaels anymore.
Like Randy Orton, he's a legend, and he's like, who can you say that somebody knew from like 5 years ago that's still in wrestling? Like, that's a long time. But somebody like John Cena and Randy Orton, they're legends. They've been in wrestling for a while. Now, who else can you say that has been 10 years and is a new wrestler? So somebody from like 2010. No, that's
Batista
still in
moved on to bigger and
WWE.
better, and he still moved on to bigger and better things.
That's still in WWE is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, that these days, these upcoming wrestlers like Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, people that just come on to Raw from other promotions, I don't see them having big like long contracts in WWE. Maybe like 4 years, the longest, or maybe 6 being the longest of years in WWE. And these newer people from NXT coming up, like Asuka and Bobby Roode and Samoa Joe and stuff like that. I don't see them having longer contracts more than 6 years, maybe 4 years being the longest for those kind of people. And that's what they can do, is having a 4-year contract and a big brand like Raw or SmackDown, and then just release them. Like, there's nothing else for them, you know what I'm saying? And back then they had like long contracts, is because there wasn't a lot of story to WWE.
Back then there were no contracts.
Yeah, and there wasn't a lot of story.
Yeah, back then everything was new.
It was just pure entertainment, you know what I'm saying? It was pure entertainment back then, and a lot of wrestling. There was not a lot of promos. There was some funny stuff here and there, and some funny stories here and there, especially during the Attitude Era. They could change WWE a lot, and yeah, that's what I gotta say.
Okay.
So what do you guys think? What is WrestleMania gonna even come close to NXT?
I don't think. Okay, I just don't even think like it could.
I don't know. No, I'm mostly excited for like returning superstars and the new superstars showing up more than I am like actual matches. To be honest.
Surprises. What are the surprises?
All right, so here's
Well,
I'll talk a little bit about WrestleMania. So we got the tag team championship match. I think the only great tag team championship match that's gonna be is the Usos and the Bludgeon Brothers and New Day. I think that's gonna be the best out of both tag team matches. Braun Strowman and whoever else is gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be a good match, but we know Braun Strowman, and we kind of know where this is gonna go. It's, you know, Sheamus and Cesaro makes a great tag team, but I don't think it's gonna be as good as the Usos versus New Day and Bludgeon Brothers. I think there's going to be a lot of action in that match. And not just because it's 6 men, but it's just because the story to it has more story than Sheamus and Cesaro's match. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then we have like the Intercontinental and United States match. The best I see is Intercontinental Champion, only because there's a lot of good performers on there. Miz, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, amazing performers. Now, I can't say Randy Orton isn't an amazing performer, or Bobby Roode, or Rusev, or Jinder Mahal, but Jinder Mahal and Rusev and Bobby Roode are new, but they can put on a good match, but they're not as amazing. This is kind of personally my opinion, I'm just saying. They're not as amazing as Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think Intercontinental would be the outperformer of those two. And then the women's, honestly, Asuka, Charlotte, hands down, is going to be the best match for the women's. And then we got the Stephanie McMahon and Triple H and I think that's going to be a corny match, and we can all agree that's going to be corny as fuck. I
don't know, maybe, like, I think I've called it, and I think for sure that we're gonna see Stephanie do something and actually be okay and like put damage to Ronda Rousey, but what's gonna make that okay is that Ronda Rousey's gonna make Triple H tap.
Yeah.
I mean,
sure
they
that's how
can
it's gonna
do
happen.
something interesting like that. If they can twist it up a bit and make that match interesting than what it seems on card and whatnot, it would be a good, interesting match. But it won't be anything great. Like, could you say that match would be better than, let's just say, comparing to NXT wise, the match on NXT with non-sanctioned match or the tag team match? Would you say that would be better than that? I don't say it would be better than that. And going on to like the Daniel Bryan match and Shane McMahon, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, I think that match would be good because of the story to it. I think that's the only thing that'll make that match good is because of the story and having Daniel Bryan come back and return and put on a great performance is which I'm hoping for. But I can see it being better than, you know, the tag team match or the non-sanctioned match. I think I'll see that match being better. And then the main event, you know, AJ Styles, Shinsuke, and Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Honestly, I think the AJ and Shinsuke match is gonna outperform Brock Lesnar and Reigns. Only because we've seen it before, and we've seen these guys wrestle and have a feud, like, many
Here's the only
times.
reason I think that may not be the case.
I think
we've overhyped AJ Styles and Shinsuke. I think we're expecting it to be the greatest thing ever.
Because if you're looking at it stats wise and where they came from, you would know that they were great performers back in where they came from, New Japan Wrestling. And
here's my thing: I like AJ Styles, but in WWE so far, I don't think he's been like at his best. I don't think we've got the best AJ Styles.
We haven't. We've gotten a watered down AJ Styles.
An average AJ Styles.
I agree.
He was much better in TNA.
I agree.
That's true.
He's slacking in WWE, and the only reason why I think he's slacking in WWE is because
the WWE sees him as a cash cow. Is why I think.
Exactly. That's why I think
they're afraid he's gonna do some high flying shit and get hurt, and they're gonna lose a shit ton of money on merch sales and subscriber sales and ticket sales.
Yeah, because they know, like, whoever WWE sees as amazing performer and somebody that's big and will get a lot of audience, they won't really put them to their full potential because they want to keep them in the brand, unhurt and like undamaged and whatnot, just to, like you said, make a lot of money off them. And that's WWE though.
Go back and watch. Go back and watch some of AJ Styles matches just in TNA and see the difference in his performances.
I've seen him wrestle in TNA in New Japan. I've seen him wrestle. Him and Finn Balor, because I was a big Bullet Club fan back then. So.
Okay, so Streets. So yeah, so sorry, just to like just to like interrupt this, but
no, it's all good. I already went through everything that my
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the arena itself. Like the design of the arena. Yeah, that's why I actually want to get your opinion on it.
My opinion on the arena? I think it looks pretty good. I mean, it better be good for WrestleMania, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Well, some of them haven't been that great. I don't know if I necessarily cared for the giant ring over the ring.
Yeah, I get you. It's different. It's different. They're trying to... I don't know how to explain it.
Wait, I just realized that, right?
What?
It looks very New Orleans-y, so...
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do.
Imagine if like the Undertaker like comes out to that. Like, just imagine if Undertaker does come out to that.
What? Come on to what?
Okay, so if he actually
Undertaker,
you know.
Hey, wait, how well built is it for Shane McMahon to jump off of?
Probably.
Is there something for Shane McMahon to jump off of, like built into it?
No. I thought Ben was saying, imagine Undertaker coming out as badass Undertaker. Now, that's something I want to touch on as well.
Okay, I meant like,
keep going.
Okay, so he does his entrance. Okay, so yeah, so would that actually I don't know, because like I don't. Okay, I just can't see Undertaker actually like just actually like just appearing, but just with like on that stage, because like if he comes out on the stage like of course. Okay, there has been rumors that he could come out to because of Kid Rock.
No, he's not gonna come out badass Undertaker. He's gonna come out as classic Undertaker. Now you guys gotta shut your fucking mouth about that, because I'm sick and tired.
Hey, whoa, whoa, we don't talk to the other podcasters that way.
I am pissed. I am pissed.
We are a united front here.
Come on, Undertaker coming out in the morning.
Clear your mind.
All right, go all soul with it.
Soul.
Get it out.
No, that's not Undertaker. That's not Undertaker. That's not Undertaker.
That's not the Undertaker that John Cena's been calling out for the past month. So it would make no sense at this point.
No.
It wouldn't fit the story.
Exactly.
He's been calling out the dead man.
It would make sense, because he could come out and say, "Well, here's your problem, John.
You never called him.
You were calling out the wrong guy."
They would pull some
Some
generic bullcrap like that.
You should have been calling out the American Badass. And he's gonna do wheelies down to the stage. And Kid Rock's gonna be riding on the back, holding him tight.
It sounds like a Ben's like fantasy theory going on.
And he's gonna be singing, and there's gonna be like rainbows shooting.
They're gonna be holding out sparklers together.
American Badass. American Badass.
No, that's not gonna happen. No, that's not gonna happen.
Okay. So the only question
Classic
now
Undertaker for his quote-unquote last match. Huh?
Yeah. Okay, so can we actually get into the predictions?
I mean, I already talked about my opinions what matches.
Yeah, I've given most of my predictions. I think Asuka beats Charlotte. Nia Jax beats Alexa Bliss. If there's Undertaker and John Cena, Undertaker wins.
Exactly.
AJ Styles, I think, loses to Shinsuke. Because right now WWE is on a big kick about diversity, equality, all that good stuff, and first not Japanese champion, kind of a big deal. So let's go ahead and knock that out, get it out of the way at WrestleMania, give him a WrestleMania moment. Nobody's talking, Ben, so sure, go ahead.
Okay.
What?
Okay. Why is the stupid Cruiserweight Championship on the kickoff show? That makes...
Because that's where it was last year. Did you expect it to be the main event?
I know, right?
That's not friggin'... Okay. I wanted to actually be like actually on the main show, not on the freaking kickoff show.
No.
Why? Why?
What's gonna be on the kickoff show if they're on the main show? What do you move to the kickoff show? We're already watching 8 hours of wrestling.
WrestleMania Women's
What did they
Battle Royal.
put? Oh, we're gonna put the women down there? Oh hell
no!
Oh
hell no!
We'll get so many lawsuits.
Yeah.
Twitter will go in the why'd you put divas on the pre-show trend, and it's over. WWE just lost billions of dollars.
Actually, isn't the Battle Royals on the pre-show?
Yeah.
Isn't the Battle Royals on the pre-show?
Yeah, that's true.
Probably not the women's.
Both of them are.
They actually, both of them are. They actually did put the both.
And that's fair. But if the women's was and the men's wasn't, oh hell no.
There's a lawsuit. I'm offended.
Can I just say?
Maybe not a lawsuit, but a big deal.
Can we just talk about the Battle Royal? Who we think is gonna win the Battle Royal?
We don't even know who's all involved yet, do we? Oh, I wanted to ask.
Okay.
Yeah, we do.
I wanted to ask Sheep something.
I actually have one name.
I don't know if you noticed more than I did, because you've seen more of the Hall of Fame than me, but I noticed obviously Jeff Hardy there, and I noticed Big Cass in the crowd. Did you notice anybody else?
Even Jason Jordan was there.
I didn't see Jason Jordan.
Was there. I did. Well.
Did you see anybody else?
Why is Jason Jordan? I think there was also okay. I know like okay.
I saw quite a few people, but I wasn't. If I would have been thinking to remember specific ones who stood out, I probably would have a list of them. But
no, I'm talking. Well, obviously, I'm talking about guys that are
who might be making returns soon or something like that. Yeah, I didn't see like Samoa Joe. I didn't see Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, Samoa Joe was there. Samoa Joe was there. Yep, it was. Yeah.
Okay, that leads me to my next question. So it's confirmed every person that's in the Battle Royal? Because I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought there's gonna be.
No, I don't think. No, there's always surprises.
That's what I mean.
Well, how many people?
I think
be in
I think
Battle
Big Cass will be.
Isn't there 10?
Probably 30.
I think it'd be what 20 or something.
No, it's a Battle Royal. It's 10, right?
I don't know.
No, it's not. No. There's like a lot more people in there.
I'll look it up.
Really? Well, the only people that I'm looking at right here is for the women's is Sasha, Bailey, Becky Lynch, Naomi, and Natalya in the Riot Squad. That's the only people I see right now. Unless they do add more people in.
They're gonna add more. I think Ember Moon will be in it. To be honest.
And then for the men's, we got Dolph Ziggler, Matt Hardy with the Revival, Mojo Rawley, Baron Corbin, Goldust, Ty Dillinger, and Breezango.
I've got a bigger list. I've got 29 superstars official for the 5th annual Andre the Giant. So Mike Kanellis is in it.
Really?
Yeah.
I was just talking about him.
Mike Kanellis.
Wait, is he in there?
Yeah.
Oh, he is in there.
Yes, Kurt Hawkins, Apollo, Titus O'Neil, Sin Cara, R-Truth, Elias.
Now, how do you know this is official?
This is from Wrestling Inc. 29 superstars now official for the 5th annual Andre.
Yeah.
Can you actually put it in the Discord? Put in Discord for me, please.
When we're done.
Continue reading it off, Sheep. I wanna hear this.
Yeah, these are 29 superstars confirmed for the 5th annual Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania 34. Kane, Dolph Ziggler, Baron Corbin, Mojo, Elias, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, R-Truth, Sin Cara, Titus O'Neil, Apollo Crews, Tyler Breeze, Fandango, Ty Dillinger, Dash and Scott Dawson, Matt Hardy, Goldust, Heath Slater, Rhino, Zack Ryder, Primo, Shelton Benjamin, Chad Gable, Aiden English, Kurt Hawkins, Bo Dallas, Kurt Axel, and Mike Kanellis. So that's 29 official. So that means
one surprise.
They're doing a 30-man. Yeah, we get one surprise. So I hope it's somebody we don't.
I think it's most likely gonna be Big Cass. I see that as his place. Yeah, he's been cleared to return, and
what about Mark Henry?
He's not gonna get like a huge pop, like a huge thing at WrestleMania.
I don't want to see Big Cass debut at come back at WrestleMania.
I don't either,
I don't want to see Big Cass come back at all.
I don't either. But that's probably what it's gonna be. I'm not gonna get my hopes up on this one.
We all see how well Test did in WWE. That's all that Big Cass is Test 2.
Wow. Hang on a second. Let me actually quickly.
They're gonna put him in sunglasses and have his take his hair out of a ponytail. Watch.
Dear God.
Hang on a second.
You had to put Test 2 in my mind, and now.
No one that has won this match
now I don't like him even more.
Yeah, I mean, come on, guys. Let's call it what it is.
But that's why I'm saying I'm not getting my hopes up for this one, because I see it being him.
I'm hoping for Rey Mysterio. Another big. He did it at Royal Rumble and everybody went wild. What's going to happen if he does it at WrestleMania and then he wins the Andre the Giant Battle Royal?
That would be great.
He's the littlest man there.
That would be great. But now think about this. Think about whose name you just said in that list. Elias. Meaning, is he still going to be able to be Braun's partner? Is that still a thing, or is he not?
No, when I read that, I was like, oh no.
Now that and think about whose name you didn't say, Bray Wyatt.
Huh.
Wait.
You're right.
Bray Wyatt.
But Matt Hardy is, so are we not going to get Broken Bray? Come on, sad face.
I don't think so.
I want a Broken Bray.
Matt Hardy's already already been back on the show. He wrestled Goldust, but we didn't get to see it because Hulu cut it off.
Was it Woken Matt?
It was live on
I
air.
didn't watch it.
It was.
Was it what was it? Woken Matt or was it Matt Hardy? Matt Hardy. Jeff.
It was Woken Matt.
It was Woken Matt.
Well, then, if it wasn't big enough, it was just some filler. You know, it was something to get him over the hump. So we're not getting anything big WrestleMania about. Well, I guess maybe we could get maybe the 30th one, the hidden one is Broken Bray.
Could be.
What if he comes out to help? What if he comes out to help Matt Hardy win?
Could be. Now, if
what do you guys think is gonna be the first match?
The first match? Is it not already confirmed?
Okay. Yeah, it's already like the freaking
the card's probably already set.
Yeah, it's already.
That's the kickoff show.
I'll put a link to it. Actually.
That's the kickoff, but.
No, the card isn't already set.
Yeah, it's already set. I just.
Yeah, 8 hours ago.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Match card preview.
Well, what's the first match then? Because I don't know.
The Cruiserweight Championship match. That's gonna be the first match.
But that's pre-show.
The first match on the yeah, it's not showing the order.
It is. It is.
Not where I'm at.
I'll put it in it's in Discord. You'll probably look it up.
Oh yeah, it's from WWE.com too.
Yep.
Yeah, we all looked to see if it was like an official source before we clicked on it.
Oh.
Yeah, the tag team match. Braun Strowman and his partner.
It doesn't show what order they're in though.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Kickoff match at the bottom, kickoff match at the bottom, kickoff match at the bottom, and the
first
one that doesn't have kickoff match is Raw Tag Team Championship match. Cesaro and Sheamus versus Braun Strowman and partner of his choosing.
Oh, we're gonna see that first. Sweet.
Oh, okay.
So that's good.
So wait, the main event is gonna be Universal Championship match.
Yep.
Yeah,
of course it is. It's WWE's agenda that they have to get over in order for the next fiscal year to be successful.
But they said they weren't gonna make it the main event match.
Yeah, that's true.
No, because they said they weren't gonna make it a main event match because it'll be irrelevant at the time.
Who said they weren't gonna make it a main event match?
WWE itself.
When? I don't remember this.
There was a tweet about it. And then Paul Heyman made a big deal about it, and that's probably why it's the main event now. Because Paul Heyman had to open his mouth.
Yeah, it could be storyline.
They also named that women's battle royal the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal, and we see how that went. Wouldn't be the first time WWE told a lie. I'm hoping for some big returns. I'm hoping for some big surprises because otherwise I'm really not excited for this WrestleMania. I guess I'm always excited for WrestleMania. I mean, I took my vacation.
As far as me too. I mean, it was partly. It's kind of like a bonus because it was my son's birthday and his birthday party and everything, and then this just happened to be on the same weekend, so it's kind of like a bonus. But
wasn't it always on that same weekend?
What?
That's the first birthday, right? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's his first birthday.
So it's always going to be on WrestleMania weekend, pretty much.
Yeah, basically.
I guess they move around.
Yeah.
Okay,
about within a week's span between each other. Not drastically.
I want to say last month it was in March. I want to say in last year, like March 25th.
Yeah, like it was like the end of March. But yeah, it's just looking at the card, I'm not like super thrilled about like these matches. Cause like
I wasn't really super thrilled.
Even as a Brock Lesnar fan, I'm not super excited to see them wrestle again. Like it's kind of like I just want it to be over.
That's the
like and honestly, I
like wow, I can't wait.
All the trolling and shit I do about Brock Lesnar, like that's the fan part of me, but the actual just the podcast guy part of me. I don't honestly really see Brock Lesnar winning. Obviously, if he's going to UFC, he's gonna lose the match. I mean, it's just typical WWE writing. I mean, what else could you do?
The matches I really want to see is
I want to see Kurt Angle struggling for breath.
I kind of already said it when I was giving my opinions on the matches Like, out of all the matches here, I want to see that tag team match with Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Daniel Bryan, and Shane McMahon. Because you know when Shane McMahon is wrestling, you know something crazy is gonna happen. Because Shane McMahon is that dude.
I think the 3 best matches on the card are like right in the middle. The triple threat and the SmackDown tag team and the tag team match.
Yeah, in the middle.
They're right in the middle. And then I think it just depends. I feel like I said, I think Big Cass is gonna be the guy in the Rumble because I don't think they're gonna give a big superstars comeback in that match because it's a pre-show thing. Like they're not gonna give it's not gonna be somebody that we're expecting to see that we're excited to see come back for that. They're gonna give them a bigger comeback than just that. It's gonna be somebody mediocre like Big Cass. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's what I'm expecting. Now, for the Braun Strowman thing, I'm expecting something big. And if it's not something big, then I'm gonna really be disappointed because I'm really expecting that to be like somebody we're looking forward to.
That leads me to my next prediction. Since it might not be Elias, and you guys really shut down my Rey Mysterio theory. I think I still think that holds weight, but I wouldn't be opposed to seeing Hornswoggle.
Are you being serious or are you?
I'm being completely serious. Okay. And look, Hornswoggle dressed up like Braun Strowman with the full-on beard and doing the roar and all that.
That would be great, and if
being a mini Braun
if it's the new
Strowman,
comedic route he's going,
I think that would be gold.
That would be.
Okay, so yes, so there's actually some other recent news which I should actually talk after the podcast. Alberto Del Albitron, I should say, whatever his fucking name is. I can pronounce it right. Sorry, Alberto Albitron. Sorry if I actually pronounced your last name wrong, but
Albitron.
Albatross.
Okay, he got
Alberto Del Rio.
Albatross.
Albatross.
Okay, he actually got released. Okay, so he actually got released by Impact Wrestling. Don't even know why he got released. But I was actually like, okay, so I was doing some digging around.
Digging around.
Yeah, I'm kind of dying right now. Don't worry.
Okay, don't worry. Not worrying.
This is about the time that we usually end the podcast.
Is Ben dying?
I think I am.
Is Ben dying?
Now this is news.
Oh, word.
Man dies on the live podcast.
God.
I'm not worried though, because you said
we'll really get some hits.
Okay.
Yeah, because people are gonna want to listen to 3 guys that laugh at a guy dying.
You'll be
like,
surprised,
I hate these guys.
I feel like somebody swallowed some freaking air. Just swallowed some air.
You'll be surprised.
I'm sorry. Okay. Can we actually also talk about Lashley? This is one of the.
That's a potential person I could see debuting in that spot.
You know what people are saying? There's rumors of saying Bobby Lashley making a return, and people, you know how a lot of people like him, having Bobby Lashley go after Roman Reigns for the title.
I could see it.
That'd be a big ass heel moment for Roman Reigns to put down Bobby Lashley. A lot of people would fucking hate him, especially on his debut.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. That's a good call, Street. That's a very good possibility in my opinion.
Yeah, cause
if you guys want to know the reason why Alberto El Patron of Impact was released was because he missed multiple scheduled appearances for the company. And there were rumors he met with Vince McMahon last month about returning to WWE and what Impact plans to do with him. Their main event scene once again in turmoil following an issue with the second generation Mexican wrestler. He actually was scheduled to face Austin Aries at the main event at their next pay-per-view, but they released him for not showing up. Which is another reason why I think the whole thing with Brock Lesnar is fake, because Vince McMahon would not come on air on live television and say, oh, he has special treatment, oh, I guarantee he's going to show up next week, blah, 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 if Brock Lesnar was legitimately just not showing up to work. I think Brock Lesnar would be held accountable like anyone else and be released from the company for just not showing up. I think that's a load of crap, and it's fed to make people like Street to believe and to hate him and despise him because he quote-unquote doesn't show up to work. I think that's total bullcrap. He would be released just as fast as anyone else if he didn't show up.
You call him Street of Mark?
No, I just had to plug somebody's name in there. It's just a filler.
Oh, filler, yeah.
It's a little bit of a filler.
Not to point any fingers or nothing.
I just had to throw. I just threw a random name in there. But do you honestly think that Brock Lesnar can just not show up like 2-3 weeks in a row and just be fine? They'll be fine with it.
What the fuck else is he doing in Raw?
No, I'm talking about like. No, I'm talking about like actually being scheduled to be there to make it a performance and just not coming to work. Just like me not. I work at Walmart. Just like me, no showing on Walmart. They'd fire me the first time.
What he's asking is, do you think it's scripted or not?
It's totally scripted.
Do you think that was scripted? That him not showing up and all that stuff was scripted?
It's totally scripted.
Oh yeah, that was scripted, but him being a part-timer is fully true.
Well, of course, yeah. But why is it so bad for him to be?
He does have celebrity appeal.
Why is the part-timer thing so bad? Why is it so frowned upon? How many years did he? But how many years did he have to spend as a full-timer to earn the respect to be a part-timer?
I know, right? That's what I'm saying. It's only frowned upon from the newer wrestlers' opinion. Because, like I said, WWE is different.
Just like John Cena, you've been watching this guy for 16 years. Why can't he be a part-timer and go do something else with his life? Why does he have to show up every week for 20 years for you to respect him? Like, I just don't...
I know that's true, but that won't happen for this generation of wrestlers. These generations of wrestlers, AJ Styles, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, won't be in the company for 16 years. Because that's not how it's going to work anymore. They'll be there 60 years.
Then they need to... You know what they need to do? You know what they need to do?
That's why all these new wrestlers are saying that.
In the words of the GOAT, they need to know their role and shut their mouths. They need to worry about their own careers, their own past, their own ways, and stop hating on the old timer. Like, come on.
Because look, it's classic. It's good writing. It puts heat on Brock Lesnar. It makes so many people hate him, and at the same time, it makes so many people love him because
I agree. But see,
well, your idol's gonna get murdered at WrestleMania. You know, and 9 times out of 10, that's what would happen. It's not the case this year, but so many times we would see Brock Lesnar just destroy everybody's hopes, you know, because everybody would be like, oh, they're going to finally, this guy's going to beat Brock Lesnar. And then,
yeah, I agree.
And then, no,
yeah.
This guy's going to beat Brock Lesnar. No.
But see, where I differ is I can hate somebody for the story that's happening, but still like them deep down because I know that it's nothing more than a story. Like I can even go along with you guys and say, yeah, Brock Lesnar's a piece of shit. He doesn't show up for work. But that's me going with the storyline and just having fun watching the show and letting it be what it's written to be. Like I'm not sitting here like the only reason I'm saying all this is I'm just covering up like the fan side of me that likes Brock Lesnar and just putting it out there that it's nothing more than a script.
Talk Brock Lesnar anymore. You talked about him enough. I was just saying that.
No, I'm not just generally talking about Brock Lesnar. I'm not just generally talking about Brock Lesnar. I'm just saying for storylines in general, for anyone that's supposed to make you hate the person, I can hate the person in a fun way and still like the person. But with the Brock Lesnar subject, people really legitimately hate him for this. That's like you just said it yourself. Like people really do hate him.
Game session has ended. Your opponent has left the match screen for like the past 30 minutes.
It's like, yeah, and I'm just like, you know what?
Are you
I'm just playing
not
Buddy versus Warrior now.
entertained?
Yeah, I'm just playing like
Doesn't
versus
matter. This
Warrior.
conversation is so good that the people will be
It's
drawn
just
in
like,
regardless.
all right, to get off the subject of Brock
Yeah.
Lesnar, it's like Sami Zayn and Kevin
Oh
Owens.
god, yeah, another name.
People hate
Brock
them so
Lesnar.
much right now for what they did to Daniel Bryan. I think it's amazing what they did to Daniel Bryan because it's amazing
Or
heel
maybe
work.
it's just like Baron Corbin.
No,
Yeah.
I hate Baron
What
Corbin.
if that's just like
I'm just
Baron
gonna be that
Corbin,
guy.
and you're just looking at it from you're being that guy
I'm being that
that
guy that hates
really
Brock
Brock
and doesn't
Lesnar
give
the
him.
same. About Baron Corbin. That's what
But
you're doing.
I don't
You got to
know.
give him a chance,
I
man.
don't know if I
Look,
hate
how
Baron
much?
Corbin because the WWE wants me to though. It's not because of his storyline.
It's like I said, the man's got natural heat.
I
It's
think he
like
just.
you really want to hate him, whether or not it was intended or not. It fucking works.
Yeah, that's true.
I just really don't see any talent in him. Like I don't.
Who?
In Baron Corbin,
Baron Corbin?
I don't see him. He doesn't wrestle
I don't
well.
know.
He doesn't speak well.
I think most of it is. I think most of the shit that we're seeing for Baron Corbin is
So you're
scripted
saying it's
vibes.
scripted
We see
and maybe
well,
he
and
is
here's the thing: we
talented and they're
see.
not. It's just not coming
Yeah,
out.
like see, he could be a talented person, but
That's a stretch.
he also got that appearance and look like Sheep was talking about. Like he that appearance and look like he's just one of those guys you'll hate, like a Kevin Owens type guy. And I can see
His
why they
attitude,
put
yeah.
yeah, and I can see why WWE is using him as that kind of guy. And the thing is, WWE doesn't really have to try hard with him because if that's his natural attitude, then they don't really have to do much. They're just like, okay, everybody
Well,
already hates this guy already, so just let it
to back
go.
up my
But
and
I think Baron Corbin, I think he probably is a good performer because we never really got to see
mhm.
another side of Baron Corbin. We can't really say we've seen the face side of Baron Corbin or where he came from, like his wrestling history. But I don't know. I think he has talent in him. He might like I don't know if the mic talent is scripted as well, but if he really is that bad
Yo,
at
everything's
promos,
actually scripted. Okay,
then
everything's
that's
scripted. You
crazy.
know that.
You
Well,
know that most of
it's
it
not
is
like wait, it's not like
scripted.
being bad at promos is necessarily the end of the world for a wrestler
I
because
Mhm.
know
Brock
exactly,
Lesnar's not good at
exactly.
promos. Braun Strowman wasn't good at promos. Now he's gotten really
Okay.
good at them.
Well,
But a
let me
lot of
just
people are
say
notoriously
for
bad
the
at
sake of my
promos.
rant and to back up everything that I've been saying, I have to agree with Street.
Here's my evidence.
No, I'm saying I have to
Go
agree
ahead.
with Street on the Baron Corbin subject. Maybe I am being that guy, and maybe Baron Corbin's attitude and in ring performance and everything may be scripted. He may be good on the mic. He may be good in the ring, and they're just holding him back. This is just what he is right now.
Yeah.
I have to admit that. I have to say maybe I just troll too hard and I just hate on him too much.
But
And I'm
that's
being
the
that
thing
guy
with
about
Baron
it.
Corbin.
I have to admit that. If I don't admit that, then I'm just being a hypocrite about everything that I just ranted about Brock Lesnar on.
Yeah,
But then again, you can't really compare Brock
Okay,
Lesnar and
yeah.
Baron Corbin, their
yeah,
careers,
obviously,
but it's still the same
obviously. But
scenario.
there's a lot of things you can't compare to upcoming wrestlers as well, to like major wrestlers from WWE or some major brand because we have a bunch of wrestlers that performed very well, like AJ Styles from other brands and
Yeah,
him
such as
being on Raw.
TNA, right?
Let's say AJ Styles he was a great performer in other brands like TNA and New Japan.
Hmm.
Let's say they bring him in WWE and make him look like somebody like a Baron Corbin. Now, if you didn't know shit about this
Yeah,
dude,
just
you didn't know shit about this dude AJ Styles, I'm gonna use as a Baron Corbin type person. Like, oh, who's this guy? This guy is really bad. He sucks. Yeah, I hate this dude.
Hmm.
And you don't know none of his background history. if you knew about his background history and like, wow, WWE is just really putting this dude down. It's like this is a bad move for him, or something. Or they gotta switch it up or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and there's a lot of instance in cases that WWE does that to people. So Baron Corbin or
Touch it
Kurt
up.
Hawkins
Zack Ryder.
or whoever's bad that we see bad in wrestling right now, whoever we're calling out as a bad wrestler because they look bad and their image is bad, that could be just put on because of WWE itself. And we
Mm-hmm.
know WWE gives people these worst gimmicks and shit and have them do these gimmicks. But we don't really know much about these other wrestlers' background history. They could have been
That's
in
true.
local promotions and be one of the best from all
Mm.
kinds of local promotions. And that's the thing. Austin Aries was that kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Aries was in promotions before WWE, and he was an
DNA.
amazing wrestler. And WWE just made him look like a bad wrestler, even being on, putting him on what is it, 205 Live that no one really gave a shit about. People only watch 205 Live because of people like Austin Aries and whoever else was on there that's not on there anymore.
It's
And
true.
that's the thing. It's just like WWE has that fucking wand where they could just, once you sign with them, they just
Just
can
tap it.
ruin your whole career. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're
Yeah,
selling
like
your
such
soul
as like
for a
when people
gamble
actually
here.
like in like that big push, such as Zack Ryder. Like you know how what happened to Zack Ryder, remember?
Yeah, it's crazy though because I'm not gonna say I feel bad for people that sign to WWE, but if you're somebody that's coming up
Oh,
from different promotions that people never heard
my
of,
hands fever
and
now.
you want to make something out of yourself, you sign with
Yeah,
WWE. You sign with a big promotion like WWE, and then
that's
you
true.
sign that promotion. You expect to get a big spot, but you can't. The thing is, you can't really expect to get a big spot in WWE because WWE has such
Like,
numerous superstars that are already big on it. But the thing
There's only so
is,
many belts.
exactly, there's only so many belts and so many chances somebody can get. And once you blow those chances, it's over. But the thing is, WWE is scripted, and I think it all comes down to not the way that you, it's not the way that WWE puts a superstar in action. It all comes down to the crowd. The crowd
mm,
is what makes a superstar. If the crowd likes, if the crowd hates Baron Corbin, they're gonna hate Baron Corbin. It's not just because of how they put him as the image. Let's just say if somebody, if WWE switches up Baron Corbin's image and makes him a face, right? Let's just say that. Do you
Mm-hmm.
think WWE would accept that and they would
no.
cheer him on? I think the first thing WWE gives somebody, the first gimmick WWE gives somebody, has to be a gimmick that will catch the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah, I
once you
definitely
give somebody a shitty gimmick for their
Well, the
first
turn has to
appearance,
be a surprise. Yeah.
do.
exactly, the turn has to be a surprise as well. But most of it, the majority, not just the booking, not just the gimmicks, the majority comes from the crowd. It's us watchers, it's us as a viewers to determine who we will like. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
that's
there's
true.
not much they can do for somebody
I'm gonna have
like
to keep
as
this
a
going.
new talent. And that's what I just gotta say there. So yeah, that's my rant on WWE.
It's true. It's all true.
Well, here's what I think they should do for WrestleMania. They should go find all the NXT writers and beg for their help.
Mm,
I know
true.
that's also true.
I,
Because
I just
NXT
hope
was
This
pretty
I just
good.
hope
But
these
NXT,
matches have some good results and not they're not just predictable like a 1, 2, 3 pin count, it's over, blah blah blah. Like I want to see some
that's gonna be
exciting
where it falls,
turnouts.
it's critical. There has to be some amazing, mind blowing. Oh my
matches.
God, I can't believe I just saw that. No, not necessarily matches because we already know what the matches are. There might be two that are that good. I have a feeling that Asuka and Charlotte will be okay, but I don't know if it's even going to be as good as Ember Moon and Shayna Baszler was. to be honest. As brutal as that was. What are we going to see? Another moonsault from Charlotte from the top rope, and I don't know, an ass bump or two from Moskowitz.
I think it'll be more technical than brutal.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a lot of grappling.
Technical.
I think we've seen all of Charlotte that really is, unless they're gonna have to come up with something. They're gonna have to come up with something. Just leave it all out there, some kind of epic match with just intensity of
Street. Sing it one time, Street. You know what I'm talking about.
Sing one more time.
You know what I'm talking about. Sing it.
You know what I'm talking about.
Come on.
You sing it. You sing it.
What are you guys actually talking about? Because I'm so
you can't always get what you want.
What you want.
So
that should be the theme song for WrestleMania.
I think it should.
Is there a good chance Rusev wins?
I don't know.
In the Battle Royal match?
No,
no, he's in the Fatal 4. That's right, I forgot. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Rusev,
I don't know.
Bobby Roode, Randy Orton, Jinder Mahal. It definitely better not be Jinder Mahal, or the fans will probably riot.
Probably.
Yeah, God, dude, that was one of the worst things they could do is give him
like
title
they
again.
actually did like when he was the WWE champion. Like everyone rioted about that.
I don't hate Jinder Mahal like most people do. I think he's sort of like Baron Corbin. He's got just this natural thing that people hate. That's what Rusev was missing as a heel. He didn't have that thing that just, there's something you still liked about Rusev. No matter how much he Rusev Machka and put people in camel clutches, you still like, you're like, there's something about this guy I just can't hate like that, you know, even though he was trying to be that foreign heel and I Hate America and all that, it never worked right. It just didn't fit.
That's true.
And I think he's starting to get there. I just don't think the Rusev Day is quite what he needs. I think he needs to like really just be himself like he is on social media and like just let him go that way. Funny Rusev. And I think we could see a couple title reigns from him.
That's stupid. I'm like trying to fucking do it right now.
So just like every foreign heel's new thing is gonna be to turn face and win a title.
Jinder Mahal's not turning face.
Whatever freaking match he'll fucking do, you watch. Oh my god.
So, I think we're pretty much done, right?
Yeah, I think that pretty much makes for a good takeover podcast. We got another one coming tomorrow, so we don't want. And Ben's over here losing his shit. So
I don't know. Depending on how this,
like a freaking bloody match. I lost the match.
Depending on how this WrestleMania goes, I don't know how I feel about the podcast. I might be a little bit in my feelings. I have to sit here and get. I have to sit here and get bashed by the three of you about Brock Lesnar losing. All this shit I've been talking.
Why would we bash you? We already know the outcome of this match.
Okay, can I just say something now?
If it's not, then it's a big surprise and whoopee for you.
Can you imagine how I would act if Brock Lesnar won? Like, you guys aren't even gonna be able to talk to me like a week.
It's alright.
I don't care.
I'll take it. Whatever happens, happens. But
like, I'm gonna go into every WWE 2K team stream
we'll live with
and just
It'll be like if
spam
we
Brock
NFL
Lesnar.
Fans and like, if we were NFL fans and had to talk to Street about Tom Brady winning all these damn Super Bowls, you know, it wouldn't be.
That's true.
Oh, Tom Brady guy.
Oh, wow.
You mean I'm talking about Tom Brady stealing all these Super Bowls?
Stealing? Who are you talking about? We just gave one away. Gotta give some away.
See, that's what we've got to understand about Soul Street. Brock Lesnar is his Tom Brady.
Okay.
It's alright. It's time to end it. That's the worst reference ever.
Okay, I need to actually ask like all three of you guys a question right now. Which WWE superstar would you like to go back to NXT? That's what the fuck I want to talk about now.
Are you on drugs right now?
You just demanded to talk about this.
During the commercial
you just demanded to talk about something we talked about 45 minutes ago.
That's what the fuck I want to talk about right fucking now. Let's fucking go. We're talking about it. Whoa!
I'll lose my. I
don't want to see anybody go back to NXT. It's just a bad idea to me.
Okay.
Really? You don't think some people would be better back in NXT? Really?
Okay.
I just can't get past viewing it as a downgrade.
I think
Okay.
at least 205 Live be consolidated back into it.
Can I get your guys' opinions on
205 Live is even lower than NXT.
1 second.
I don't know.
To me.
The podcast.
Yeah, those guys aren't even. Are these guys even still getting paid?
I don't know.
Or are they just wrestling, hoping that somebody will be like, "Hey, send those guys to NXT"?
I think they're just hoping for tips and donations at this
Alicia
point.
Fox needs to go back to NXT. She needs to go back to NXT. She's stupid.
Who?
And give me that referee. Alicia Fox. That's what I'm actually trying to talk about. And it's like, no.
Yeah. No one cares.
Alicia Fox.
What? Didn't she get hurt or something?
Alicia Fox.
I think she actually did, but I just don't even know if she's even on.
Wait, before we end the podcast, I just want to ask Ben, what is your exact reason why you want Alicia Fox to go back to NXT?
Okay, because she's so bad.
She's so bad at what?
At what?
Right now.
She's
so bad at what?
She's good at her character. What's she bad at?
She's amazing. She plays her character amazing. Like, who else could play that character as that good?
She makes that batshit crazy. Like, her and Nikki Cross could team up.
That's true, but like, ugh. I just
But
don't know.
what is she bad at? Is what I want.
I've just got my own freaking opinion on. Okay, I've just got my own opinion, actually, like on.
Did you like send her a message on Twitter and she like called you a loser or something?
No.
Did you stalk Alicia Fox and she turned you down?
No.
What's with the hatred of Alicia Fox? Let's get it out here in the open right now.
This is an exclusive for the end of the show.
Exclusive
okay,
story.
I respect her of what she actually does, but like, it's just her character. I just don't like it too much.
So is she your Baron Corbin?
Yes.
There goes my hero.
See, another prime example of Baron Corbin syndrome right here on Dat Wrasslin podcast.
You can't always get what you want.
Okay.
So that's what that officially is known as, is unexplained hatred of somebody who might actually be pretty good if you gave him a chance. That's Baron Corbin syndrome. It's medically diagnosable.
Now say this right now, guys. Okay, so if WrestleMania,
I got that a lot in high school.
Okay, so if WrestleMania is bad, I'm completely actually just uninstalling the WWE Network. That's a true fact.
Of course you will, Ben.
I will, because
I don't think anyone got my joke.
What was your joke?
I don't know. I heard Ben talking.
I said I got that a lot in high school. The Baron Corbin syndrome, like from girls.
Yeah.
so sad.
I was just trying to make a joke and then it just got sad when I had to explain it. Like, it was a funny, quick pun, but when I have to explain it, it's just a sad sob story.
That'd be sad.
So, okay, so now you're married with children, and it all was worthwhile. Means you had to have sex at least once.
That turned out.
This guy, I'm going to kick him in the balls in a minute. Whoever this guy, like, I'm actually.
Turned out to not be so bad. I survived Baron Corbin syndrome.
There you go.
Yeah.
Look, you got all these guys, and we like you just fine most days.
Oh my.
Most days.
Most days.
Wait, are we talking about me still?
Why did
we're not talking about Baron Corbin?
I slipped in the shower and no, I'm about to say something.
What? Alright, this is going way off topic. Yeah.
Yes. I'm just like so little cranky at this bloody guy because he's gonna kick my ass.
Okay. Ending the podcast now. You guys want to say goodbyes?
Is the tag team? Oh, okay. Never mind. I was gonna ask a question.
Go ahead.
Do you guys actually want to play some Fortnite for a bit? Just just
no,
so I can actually
I got a stream to do as well. So.
You guys want to say your goodbyes or?
Stream? Let's get on out of here.
I might actually be in your stream in a minute, Street.
Alright, guys, so that was the end of the greatest podcast so far. Hopefully tomorrow will be just as good. Hoping for that.
Okay, Jared L, go suck a dick.
Alright. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to the Dat Wrasslin podcast. We'll see you tomorrow night for the WrestleMania special.
Fuck. No,
Peace out.